Welcome to In the Calm. I'm your host, Georgiana Alexander. Welcome to this very special episode of In the Calm. This is not a full episode. In this practice, we're going to be doing a sacred space protection meditation that you can use any time of day, but especially when you're going into meditation or you're wanting to connect in with your intuition or your spirit guides, whatever that looks like for you. This is a really beautiful practice of settling in and creating sacred space, setting your intentions so that you know exactly who and what is in your space, as well as a way to start clearing the static around you. So also, if you're in an overwhelm or wanting to just take some time for nervous system regulation, this is one of my favorite tools for that as well. So aside from the meditation, one of my other favorite tips for sacred space, especially in a hurry, is what I call the poop mudra. And honestly, there's like an actual name for it. And if you're not familiar with the term mudra is just yoga with the hands, but it actually creates energetic channel systems as we hold different positionings in our hands. And so this mudra, if you open your hands up and you press your middle finger, which is your, largest finger to your thumb finger, just tip to tip, and you press that. Just kind of play with that for a minute, pressing and then releasing what that feels like. Energetically, it actually creates a force field bubble around you. It's a very, very quick and light way of creating some space with whatever's happening around you. So I call it the poop mudra because honestly, if you're a bit of a shy public pooper or needing to poop in a hurry, this is actually a really great tip as well. Just holding that mudra helps focus that energy and clear the distractions around you. So it makes, that a lot easier. It makes pooping a lot more fast and easy and less stressful. But also, and more importantly, in this topic, is it gives you the opportunity to create a slight bubble and protect a field in a hurry around you. If, say, there's a lot of noise or static or overwhelm with your nervous system or something going on in your environment, you can kind of step away for a moment and use this mudra to get some space to tune into yourself and see what yourself needs. To maybe take a moment of breathing with this mudra so that you're able to kind of distance yourself from whatever loudness is occurring in your environment. So that's a really great, quick way to connect into sacred space. But let's get into the sacred space protective meditation. You can come back to this at any time, but and you can practice this while you're driving, but I would recommend you coming back to this at a time when you can really start to practice and get a feel for this so that then you can call on this bubble practice in meditation anytime, anywhere, whether you're using it as a way to create an intended sacred space for creating, meditative space or connecting in with intuition, channeling, things like that. Or if you're just looking for a space to regulate your nervous system, again, come back to this and put this in your toolkit. So closing down your eyes, assuming you're not driving, make sure you're in a safe, quiet space and just settle in with your breathing. Go ahead and inhale very deeply up all the way with your nose. Inhale, full deep breath all the way to your crown, expanding your rib cage outward. Like really make sure you inhale fully and then forcefully and strongly blow that breath out with an open mouth. Good. And do this a few more times, 3 to 6 times, just to set your intention with your breath that you're showing up with a nervous system that understands it's safe. And And you force that out, force it all the way down. Imagine that breath is exhaling all the way down to your feet. And then inhaling again, all the way up through your nose one last time. And then forcefully blowing all the air out through an open mouth. And then now coming to a bit more of just a regular natural breath. I want to move you into a wave breath that you can choose to use this throughout your entire practice if that helps you, or just go to your normal breathing pattern. But if you're wanting to use a wave breathing, inhale through your nose for a count of 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top. 2, 3, 4, and exhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Then hold at the top for 4. And then we're exhaling for 8. A double amount of your inhale. If you need to adjust that time to shorten it, that's fine. But you want to inhale for whatever count and then exhale for double that count. And that way it really informs your nervous system that you're safe. And it also moves through your body. Keep that breath pattern going for just another few rounds. And imagine a wave, an ocean wave coming in and out with the breath washing over you. Activating your energy body with every breath. Activating your sensory. And now as you settle into this breath, or just going back to your normal way of breathing, whichever feels safer to you, I want to visualize a really beautiful white bubble around you. It's a bit translucent, and I recommend we're going to make this bubble really dense. It doesn't have to be dense. It could be a couple of inches. But for the sake of creating a sacred space, we want to make it about a foot deep. So really dense. You can still see through it. But imagine it's like a marshmallowy kind of like plasma consistency of both thickness, but also has a slight transparency. And you're going to visualize that around your body. It could be quite large if you want, or it can be very close into your body as well. Setting the intention for this bubble to form around you, giving permission. And what we're giving permission for is to allow the energy around you, the air around you, the water and the air around you to form a dense bubble around you for protection, as well as this is going to serve as a nervous system regulation. The plasma and the consciousness in the water actually works with your energy body and system to regulate your nervous system. So just allowing that to form. If you want to visualize a different color, you can do that too. But let's just, for sake of this sacred protective space, visualize a white bubble and then always feel empowered to make that decision about what color your bubble is down the road as well. So just take a minute with your breath in this space and just tune into the awareness of it. Feel you inside of this bubble. Do you notice anything with your sensory? Do you have a lot of noise from the chaos of anything going on outside of you? Do you have thoughts of the things you need to work on? Are you starting to get any kind of intuitive nudges? Just observe. And as you still have a slight awareness to your breath, I want you to give permission set an intention to allow all the static that's in this bubble with you, whether that's something going on at home or work, or, maybe that you've been thinking of, all that noise that's not you, whether it's other people's emotions or the news and environment in the world, everything that's not just your breath, just that connection to you. Give permission to move outside of this bubble. And it can hang out there if you want. You can always come back to it and pick it up when we're done. Or you can give permission for that to go back to source energy. It's up to you. Just take a moment and breathe in your essence, that feeling of what it feels like for you to just be in a safe, sacred space without all the static of everything else. This may take time to feel safe in this practice and really feel safe to let all of that you carry around you go. Wherever you are, it's okay. So now you're going to start inviting in and connecting with your guides, and you can do this all at once if you feel safe to do that in this practice, or if you want to wait and just practice in sections and layers of this connection with yourself. So take whatever step you need for yourself. But at this time, I like to hold my hand to heart and connect inward to my highest self. The easiest way to do this, the most physical and tangible, is to hold one hand at heart, one hand at belly, and name myself Georgie, soul. So I want to connect to my soul, highest self. I'm connecting my awareness and my light from my soul to my highest self so that I can see that visually connecting. So Georgie, soul, highest self, God. And I see that connection to the oneness of the universe. You can use the language God, universe, whatever language connects most deeply with you, that's up to you. But I'm going to use the language I'm most comfortable with, which is Georgie, soul, highest self, God. I can connect with that source energy, that oneness that we're all a part of and connected to. So I'm now in community with my highest self, with God, with the universe. Now you can begin to just sit with this. Maybe ask yourself some questions like, what would you like me to see? What would you like me to know? This is your sacred space to enjoy whatever it is that feels safe for you to begin to explore. But as you connect to your highest self, and again, practicing that, holding one hand at heart, one hand on the belly, Georgie, soul, highest self, God. And with that intention, what we're doing is stating that only this essence of me, my highest self, my connection to God, is allowed in this sacred space. And I have to invite in any other support or information or beings that I want to communicate with into this sacred space. So I'm really setting a safe and sacred space to just explore in, and to know that nothing moves in or out of this bubble that I don't have permission and direct intention to allow. I call in my archangels that I love working with, my angelic team and my spirit guides. I usually invite in my dimensional friends because that's who I'm familiar with working with. If you have a particular guide that you want to connect with, this would be a great time to ask for their support. But whoever it is that you connect in with, we just want to make sure that you're also stating for the highest good of all involved. Like, we want to speak with only the highest vibrational beings, the beings that are only for our highest good. You really want to clarify who's in this space with you. And if you're doing this practice as a nighttime routine where you really want to feel safe as you sleep and as you're opening to your intuition to feel what's around you in a sleeping state or in between state, if you want to name your space because that feels safer, and I recommend this for you, for your kids, really learning to tap into this bubble and use this as a way of being in sacred space with yourself and your highest self and your connection with God, with the universe, with your ancestors, those that are here to support you, those that are here to help you integrate your intuition, and using this space as a tool to block out everything else that's not there to support you, and stating the intention that nothing but you, your soul, your highest self, God, is allowed in this space, or what it is that you call into this space to support you. So go ahead and take a moment and play with that. Invite in who it is that you're ready to have support you. Maybe you have a special relative. Maybe you're already familiar with your spirit animals or your spirit guides or your angels, or maybe there's certain archangels, or maybe there's elementals that you're friends with or connected with or that you want to work with, or maybe there's certain ancestors that you really want to ask questions to or get familiar with. So take a moment to just explore that with yourself in your sacred space. You can come back to this and take as long as you want, or you can pause this if you want more space. And now just breathing in again, feeling the support of everyone and everything that's in this beautiful, safe, and sacred space that is of you and is also protecting you. Just be aware of it, sense it, acknowledge it. And when you're ready, thank all of the beings that you brought to support and communicate with. Give the deepest gratitude to them for supporting you, as well as holding your hand at heart and at your belly. Acknowledge your highest self and your soul. Like, give yourself the deepest gratitude for having the courage to step into this moment for you, this protection for you. And then giving permission for all of those who are there supporting you to return back to their space and time. So they're all moving out of this bubble. Your bubble can expand as you bring people in. It can remain very small. It's up to you. And seeing them leave. And then seeing this bubble, you can always keep it around you if that feels safe and you want to. If you need that support in the world, that's a choice for you. But also giving permission for this bubble to either dissipate, because this bubble is energy. This is universal energy, this oneness of everything around us. That's what you're calling in, is asking for something to be created in a protective field around you. You're using the consciousness of the water to help work with you and the air and the energy to create and form this bubble and space around you. So acknowledging that and either giving it permission by stating an intention of you can return back to source, and imagining all of the energy of the bubble just dissipating into fine light and then disappearing. Or you can imagine that this bubble dissipates back into your body, because it is also a part of you. Whichever you prefer, you can choose now and set that intention. Everything is intention. Everything is created with the intention, with the direction of information and of energy, which is why taking this time within sacred space where we have clear intention, we have clear goals and directions, space that we've designated of who and what is coming into this space, that we can explore ourselves, setting the intention for the vision of the life that you want to live and create. That is why you're in this sacred space. Giving yourself permission to regulate your nervous system and utilizing this sacred bubble to help you define what that is, to play in the essence of who you are and give permission for everything that is not of you, any emotions that are not of you, any conditioning, any thoughts, any static of the world around you, to move outside of that bubble, to surrender to God, to be cleared and recycled back into the energy sphere of the universe. That's a deeper dive for another day. But it's not necessary for you to carry all of this energy, emotion, thought, just the same as you don't wear the same clothes your entire life. You change clothes, you take showers. This is a part of that hygiene as well. This is a part of developing an empowerment and strength and trust within yourself to understand the unseen world. Because as you become more familiar with who and what and how you operate as, then it becomes safer for you to understand the differences in the subtle nuances in the world around you, and to really trust what it is that you're sensing and discovering. So you can return back to this space at any time. You can come back to this and feel held in this conversation. You can also utilize this bubble not just for, as I said, meditation, or for if you're looking to develop your intuition and have a safe, sacred space to work with your guides or introduce to your spirit guides, but also if you're looking for something that feels protective for you to help regulate your nervous system, for you to develop a deeper relationship and understanding of yourself. This is a really beautiful tool for that. All right, reach out if you have any questions. I'm sending you much love on your journey and development, and I can't wait to hear how it goes. I'll see you soon.